Good morning. It's getting to move towards fall here in Gothenburg. And on the job front today, I am going for my second interview after the code test at my services, which probably is a good thing because I suppose they wouldn't call if I failed completely. So passed that code test, I hope, which is great because it's a good company, and I figured out some things about their app that might be useful information to them. And I'm still pretty keen on learning Scala, which would be pretty cool to learn how to write production code in Scala. Because if there's one thing I have that I think is lacking from my like day-to-day work knowledge, it is that I feel I don't have a typed language that is like really specific to server-side development that I'm comfortable with. I want to get to I'm very comfortable with JavaScript. I'm fairly I'm confident in Swift and like those languages, but I don't have I know how to do Java and so forth. It's more a you know I know how to do it, but I don't feel like I can just be nonchalant and like just pull something up in 5 minutes, that's where I think that the sweet spot for being like professional, that you should be there. If somebody tells you like, hey, can you just pull up a web server? You should be able to pull up a web server if you work on your workstation in just a few minutes. That's actually, it's actually funny. Like that's the benchmark I use to determine by when I feel confident that I can put something on my CV and have not completely lie about it. So this is my tip for you. Like the most common thing that you can possibly have to do as a developer learning a new language is to make an API or a web server of some sort. Because remember, if you're making a web page, that's in essence the same thing. You need to have a rendering engine and some stuff like that. So my rule of thumb to you guys is that when you answer the question, when do I put a language on my CV, or when do I feel like, when have I quote unquote learned a new language? Because you can practice for the I mean, I've been doing JavaScript for several years, and do I know everything about JavaScript? Well, no, absolutely not. I have so many things I don't know about that language. But it's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing enough to be productive and do the most common thing. And the hands down most common thing that you have to do in a language in any programming language, is to make a server or a web server for the most part. That's almost all, that's, I would argue, the vast majority of cases for what you're going to do. So my progression usually starts with, okay, I watch a video about the language syntax for the most part. And if you're interested, Derek Banas does a lot of those, which are really nice. And that's a good start. Take a look at him. He has a lot of nice videos about that. And then I do, you do your hello worlds, you try some stuff out, make some small functions here and there, and then immediately you go into making a web server. So that's a fairly nice sized project. And you create a few endpoints, render a web page, and create a few APIs. That's it. And if you want to go one further, you hook yourself up to, like, you learn you install like a database and basically hook that up with. I usually don't go that far because like connecting to a database and doing all that stuff, it's very much it's highly boilerplate stuff, which usually, when you have a bit of experience, you can read yourself up on in a few minutes. But yeah, that's to me when you should feel comfortable adding something to your CV. So if you can make a web server in a language, then you have enough like you know how to, and you can do that without having to like look every single thing up. Then you're pretty much, then you know enough to be able to produce value in it. And once that's done, you should learn how to write unit tests and all that good stuff. So that's my rule of thumb anyway for adding a language to your CV.